Okay, hello everyone. I remain my humble self, Chukandane Soko, and I'm welcome to another trading strategy. This here is called the rectangle or the mosaic strategy. So I'm just going in straight to showing us what this strategy looks like and how we can use it to actually do analysis and take trades. Now, you must keep something in mind, and that's the rhombus strategy, which I taught in the previous course, and this rectangle mosaic strategy, they all you do your analysis on the 4 hours time frame. Now remember, I told you we'll have 1 minute to 45 minutes, we'll have 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. We're doing this analysis on the 4 hours time frame. So you're going to click on this 4 hours, you come here, choose your pair, and then you do your analysis. So the first thing you want to do here is to look for the highest point of price, and then this is the highest point. Look for the highest point and take the price down and take this trend line down to the lowest part, right? You can also say look for the lowest part in your chart and take the line to the highest point. Now, but this is not a low, so I'm just going to delete this. I'm just saying this so you understand what I mean. You mustn't take from the highest to the lowest. You can also take from the lowest points to the highest on a bullish market. So now that you have this line here drawn, the next thing you do is to come here where you have your brush, open the tool box, and then take your rectangle. You would come here, open up your rectangle from here, and draw it till this point where our trend line ends. Okay? Now, after you've done this, the next thing you do is to take your horizontal line and then place it here. Take your horizontal line and place it here. Now, what we've been able to achieve, what we've done now is identifying an area of key resistance and key support. So the top here is called resistance, or you can call it a ceiling. Down here is called a support, or you can call it a floor. So now I'm going to have to find a reversal point in this rectangle. Now you take your trend line, come here, pick it from this point to this point. Now I want to make this other line a blue line. Later I will tell you why it is a blue line. Okay, and this is a red line. So we want to find our reversal point. Now in Forex chart markups, you have area of support, area of resistance, and then you have areas of reversals. We have major reversals, we have minor reversals. So right now we're going to find the major of area reversal in this chart. Now I'm coming back to my horizontal line, and then I come to where this blue line crosses this red line, and then I stick the line there. Now if we should go back in history, we'll realize that price has respected the lines we drew here even in the past. Now this here has been an area of reversal. You see market testing this as a resistance and coming back to test it as a support and broke it and couldn't go down and went back up to the top. You come down here, you see market testing this line we just drew now as a reversal point, like I called it. Now this is our area of resistance. You see market coming here to test this area here as a resistance, coming here to test as a resistance, and he couldn't break it and he pushed it all the way back down. You keep going back in the past. Let's see if this will open. But again, okay, okay, now fine. So you see price coming back to test this area as support, here as support, and you realize that just by drawing one rectangle in the present, it shows us that this nothing happens by chance in Forex. Everything happens by projection. Now, technical analysis shows you that everything happening right now has happened before in the past. So right now we have a picture of what the market is in terms of our resistance, our support, and our reversal. Now, if you see this market is going from this point to this point. Now, this blue line is considered the trend line. Remember, we talked about trend lines in one of our courses. This blue line is considered the trend line. Now, this is because you see the market going along this blue line, following this blue line and going all the way down. So it's called the trend line. Now, this red line here is called the counter trend line. Now, what does that mean? It means that for the trend to be going this way, the counter trend line is going to, if you notice, the trend line started from the point where the market broke out and went all the way down. Now, the counter trend line is going to start at the opposite direction of where the market broke out from. So this only means that if market keeps coming down here and it breaks this counter trend line, it's going to go all the way down. So that means if you've drawn all this and all this has not happened, all this move from this red down here has not happened. If market breaks this line and then comes back to retest it, now there's one rule we must understand in basically using our basically in almost all strategies in Forex, but basically in using our mosaic structure. You must understand that after a break of a line, be it a counter trend line or reversal line, there should be a retest. So now price has broken out of this line, it came back to retest it with this green line, and that is a confirmation that you should enter this trade. Now, if you're entering this trade here, from here riding it all the way down to this point, you're making 164 pips, right? So this here is a sell order. Now, if price comes and does not break this counter trend line, it might likely push the market back to the top. Now, there are two things you must confirm: that price breaks this counter trend line and also breaks your reversal line. Now, you see in the past, price came here and couldn't break this point and it went back out. It came here, couldn't break it. It's just been battling around here, then it pushed it back up. So if price does not break your counter trend line, it pushes it back up. But when it breaks your counter trend line and breaks your reversal line, believe me, this market is going to ride all the way down here. So now, we're going to create an area, what we call mini reversals. I'm just going to show you how we create that mini reversal. But before then, I'm going to show you how you can actually use this rectangle we've drawn to tell where this, because truth is this has already happened. As I'm recording this video, this has already happened. So we are waiting. If you're going to go into your trade, you would want to go into your trade somewhere around this region. So for you to know where best to enter the trade, somewhere around here, now you're just going to right click on this rectangle, clone the rectangle. You click on clone, it clones itself. Then you just move your rectangle to this point. You see, we have just about the same size of the rectangle, just the same size here. Now, what we're going to do is, remember we said our trend line is that line that follows where the market starts. So our trend line here will now start here, because this is where trend began to go up, to this point here. Now, our counter trend line automatically is going to start from the opposite side of where market began to move up. Now, our counter trend line is going to start here to this point. Now, we'll make our counter trend line red. So now, you see that price has come from our trend line, kept on respecting the trend line, and it came here, it broke our counter trend line, and it broke our reversal line, and it got to this point, and it came back here to test our reversal zone or reversal line, and it could not break it to come down, so it's going back up. So the best trade to take here is basically to buy here and hopefully take profit at the top. Now, aside from this, what I've just drawn here, there are other ways too you can check this market. Now, this counter trend line we have here, there's also a mini counter trend line. So you come here and see, because price started from this point, this line started from this point to this point as a counter trend line, you should start from here to that same point. Now this is your mini counter trend line. Now this is the first place market has come to test. Market came here to break this mini counter trend line and came back to test it. Remember I said it breaks it. If it comes back to retest it and does not break it, that is a sure entry. So it broke this counter trend line, this mini counter trend line, came back to retest it, and then all the way, boom, down. It came here, broke it, came back to retest it, and it sends the market all the way down. Now, what should we do here? So now you see that we have to also draw a mini counter trend line. So we take our trend line here and go from this point to this point. Okay, so now market coming here. Remember what I told you, market came here, it broke this point, kept on going, it came back to retest this our horizontal reversal point, couldn't break it, and it came here. Now it broke our mini counter trend line, and you see market going from this point and all the way here. And at this point you should enter a buy, and market is going to ride all the way up here. Now if you check your profit in pips from this point to this point, you see that's 89 pips. And this is how best to trade how best to use your mosaic structure to actually take trades. Now, in a subsequent video, which I am going to be putting together the rhombus strategy and this mosaic strategy, I'm going to also show us how to draw how to further divide this rectangle to get our mini reversal zones, right? So this here just tells you the best places to enter your trade with the rectangle based on your trend line, your counter trend lines, and your mini counter trend line. So when we were in school, secondary school to be precise, we did, those of us in fine arts remember what we call mosaic. A mosaic painting is you bringing together a group of, like, you bring together leaves, flowers, bottles to make a perfect picture. So a mosaic is you bringing together a rectangle, a trend line, a counter trend line, a horizontal line, and all of that for you to bring in all of this and make this beautiful mosaic you're seeing here. Now, no matter how rough this might look right now, with practice, you will begin to see the true momentum of the market once you have been able to draw your mosaic or rhombus structure. So this here is the mosaic, the rectangle stroke mosaic strategy, and with this and the rhombus, you are good to go in forex trading. Now in forex trading, you must not bombard yourself with strategies. These two, practice and perfect them, and you are good to go. It was my pleasure teaching you on this course, and I hope to see you on the next course. I remain my humble self, Chukandane Soko. Bye for now.